Na 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 na, never-ending story. Na 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 na. I bet you can't tell that those are the only words I know to the song called Never Ending Story. Bet you could never tell. Hey creatures, it's me, Harrold here, and we're talking about my new favorite trading card game called LORCANA. Based on all of the famous Disney properties, LORCANA is up there to compete with Pokemon and Magic the Gathering as a new trading card game on the market. And there is plenty of money to be made in this market. Magic and Pokemon definitely know how that goes, and Disney wants a piece of that pie. This game is filled with all of your favorite Disney characters from every era. And some of my personal faves are Emperor's New Groove, also the classic Robin Hood, and of course one of our favorites, Treasure Planet. So color us excited to see these properties get included in this Disney trading card game. So let's start with, what is a trading card game? Well, you've probably seen them in stores where you can buy these packs of these different properties like Pokemon and Magic the Gathering. They're usually in there with the baseball cards. And now you have LORCANA cards, which are all based on the Disney properties. Inside these packs are a number of mysterious cards that have special abilities and actions that they can perform if you learn the game. Some people just like collecting the cards, which is fun. Then there is a full game here that has a lot of depth and can be very competitive. In the game, the first person to 20 lore is the winner. How do you get 20 lore? By playing characters and actions from a 60 card deck that you can customize and build, or buy pre-built ones. All of these cards are color-coded, and in the decks you can only use 2 of the colors. These colors are Amber, Emerald, Sapphire, Amethyst, Ruby, and Steel. Every deck can include 1 or 2 of these colors, but no more. Once you've collected your deck, you can then fight against 1 or more people. It's set up for multiplayer, and there are single-player adventures you can buy to take your deck against some of the evils found in the Disney universe, like Ursula or Jafar. This game is in direct competition with other games you may have heard of, most notably Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, and Magic the Gathering. Now, LORCANA is looking for their piece of the pie, and the Disney Horde is ready to spend money. And that's one of the biggest pitfalls of one of these card games, is how much it costs to put together a deck that's even competitive. It just takes so much money. People that have played those games will be very familiar with the mechanics of LORCANA, though I do feel like Disney has taken those mechanics and simplified them and streamlined them here and there to make the game a little bit more accessible for everybody. Every few months they come out with new editions, a new collection of like 200 cards or so, and they come in these examples: Reign of Jafar, Fabled, Ursula, and many others. And this game has barely been out. I fear fatigue already. Why are you coming out with new sets of 200 cards every couple of months? This is super fast. Maybe because the game is a little bit unbalanced. If you look at all the competitive decks, they all have Amethyst. There's barely a deck that doesn't. And then I rarely see any kind of Amber decks, which is filled mostly with the Dalmatians. And I would love to play an all-dog deck, but right now it's difficult to find some of the ones that you would need to make it competitive. What I'm really saying is that the game is a little unbalanced at the moment. If you don't have certain cards in the right combinations, you're just not going to go anywhere. And that's probably what makes this game a little frustrating at the moment, is that you can see that there's lots of strategic options. You can kind of switch up the cards in any way you want, and as long as it's themed in a certain way, that strategy will come through in the deck. However, there's only a couple of those strategies that the players have figured out that really work. And I think for a game to be healthy like this, there needs to be lots of varied strategies for players to interact with and try out and experiment with. And right now, I don't really see that. In the tournament play, I see everyone playing the same few cards. And all of this may sound a little negative, but I'm actually very positive on this game. The card art is brilliant, it brings a nostalgia factor, the gameplay is easy, simplistic, and your strategies feel like they come through. So as long as you're not dealing with one of those mega strategies, can be a lot of fun to be had. You're playing 60 card decks, you're not always going to get everything you need, and shuffling really good is very important in these type of strategy games. And then there's also, of course, the collector's market. A lot of these cards are already going for hundreds of dollars based on their rarity and what they are, which will help the rest of of the community thrive. If there are rare cards being sold at high money, people are going to want those, which will bring people to conventions, and so on and so forth. This game gives you a lot of fantasy fulfillment as well. I love playing a Treasure Planet deck mixed in with Captain Hook and having an all pirates deck. One day I want to put together an all dog deck. 101 Dalmatians, Lady and the Tramp, Fox and the Hound, and then just ravage and tear apart all my opponents like they are nothing! And have a good time doing it. And nothing beats that fun moment after you play Merlin after Merlin and gain lore after lore, and your teammates are just sitting there going, when is it ending? Please make it end. Please. I can't take this abuse anymore. Just get your lore and make the turn end. I am so tired of being destroyed like this every single time I go into a card game. Please, just put me out of my misery. And that's what a great time at the Magic Shop is all about. Misery and loss. And soda. Lots of soda. Delicious soda. Just don't get it on your cards. Get those sleeve protectors. Those sleeve protectors protect lives. That's my motto. So here in the Alchemy Lab, we're going to keep playing. We're having fun with it. The nostalgia factor is real, and the game is fun to play. The different strategies we can put together keeps me occupied for hours. We're probably going to do an instructional series, so keep an eye out for that. And remember to subscribe on TikTok and on Instagram for all of your Harrold needs. Ring that bell for notifications for our next videos. And remember, stay frosty, creatures. Ah!